Faucet, a transformative initiative dedicated to empowering individuals through the principles of sustainable One Health. This program recognizes the deep interconnectedness of animal, environmental, and human health, affirming that a holistic approach is key to well-being. Our program is designed to equip individuals with essential health knowledge, enabling them to become custodians of their own well-being. Through our hybrid Learn-to-Earn sessions, conducted both virtually via Google Meet and at physical locations, we engage participants from diverse backgrounds. These weekly sessions serve as dynamic platforms for learning, discussion, and collaboration. We focus on the co-creation of knowledge through the Learn One, Do One, Teach One approach. This method ensures that each participant not only learns valuable health information, but also applies it and teaches it to others, fostering a ripple effect of empowerment and education. By participating in the Actuate Health Access Program, individuals gain the tools and knowledge needed to improve their health and the health of their communities. Our goal is to create a network of informed and proactive health custodians who can address health challenges in a sustainable and impactful way. Join us in this journey towards better health for all. Together, we can make a difference. Welcome to the Actuate Health Access Faucet, a transformative initiative dedicated to empowering individuals through the principles of sustainable One Health. This program recognizes the deep interconnectedness of animal, environmental, and human health, affirming that a holistic approach is key to well-being. Our program is designed to equip individuals with essential health knowledge, enabling them to become custodians of their own well-being. Through our hybrid Learn-to-Earn sessions, conducted both virtually via Google Meet and at physical locations, we engage participants from diverse backgrounds. These weekly sessions serve as dynamic platforms for learning, discussion, and collaboration. We focus on the co-creation of knowledge through the Learn One, Do One, Teach One approach. This method ensures that each participant not only learns valuable health information, but also applies it and teaches it to others, fostering a ripple effect of empowerment and education. By participating in the Actuate Health Access Program, individuals gain the tools and knowledge needed to improve their health and the health of their communities. Our goal is to create a network of informed and proactive health custodians who can address health challenges in a sustainable and impactful way. Join us in this journey towards better health for all. Together, we can make a difference. Welcome to the Actuate Health Access Faucet, a transformative initiative dedicated to empowering individuals through the principles of sustainable One Health. This program recognizes the deep interconnectedness of animal, environmental, and human health, affirming that a holistic approach is key to well-being. Our program is designed to equip individuals with essential health knowledge, enabling them to become custodians of their own well-being. Through our hybrid Learn-to-Earn sessions, conducted both virtually via Google Meet and at physical locations, we engage participants from diverse backgrounds. These weekly sessions serve as dynamic platforms for learning, discussion, and collaboration. We focus on the co-creation of knowledge through the Learn One, Do One, Teach One approach. This method ensures that each participant not only learns valuable health information, but also applies it and teaches it to others, fostering a ripple effect of empowerment and education. By participating in the Actuate Health Access Program, individuals gain the tools and knowledge needed to improve their health and the health of their communities. Our goal is to create a network of informed and proactive health custodians who can address health challenges in a sustainable and impactful way. Join us in this journey towards better health for all. Together, we can make a difference. Welcome to the Actuate Health Access Faucet, a transformative initiative dedicated to empowering individuals through the principles of sustainable One Health. This program recognizes the deep interconnectedness of animal, environmental, and human health, affirming that a holistic approach is key to well-being. Our program is designed to equip individuals with essential health knowledge, enabling them to become custodians of their own well-being. Through our hybrid Learn-to-Earn sessions, conducted both virtually via Google Meet and at physical locations, we engage participants from diverse backgrounds. These weekly sessions serve as dynamic platforms for learning, discussion, and collaboration. We focus on the co-creation of knowledge through the Learn One, Do One, Teach One approach. This method ensures that each participant not only learns valuable health information, but also applies it and teaches it to others, fostering a ripple effect of empowerment and education. By participating in the Actuate Health Access Program, individuals gain the tools and knowledge needed to improve their health and the health of their communities. Our goal is to create a network of informed and proactive health custodians who can address health challenges in a sustainable and impactful way. Join us in this journey towards better health for all. Together, we can make a difference. Welcome to the Actuate Health Access Faucet, a transformative initiative dedicated to empowering individuals through the principles of sustainable One Health. This program recognizes the deep interconnectedness of animal, environmental, and human health, affirming that a holistic approach is key to well-being. Our program is designed to equip individuals with essential health knowledge, enabling them to become custodians of their own well-being. Through our hybrid Learn to Earn sessions, conducted both virtually via Google Meet and at physical locations, we engage participants from diverse backgrounds. These weekly sessions serve as dynamic platforms for learning, discussion, and collaboration. We focus on the co-creation of knowledge through the Learn One, Do One, Teach One approach. This method ensures that each participant not only learns valuable health information, but also applies it and teaches it to others, fostering a ripple effect of empowerment and education. By participating in the Actuate Health Access Program, individuals gain the tools and knowledge needed to improve their health and the health of their communities. Our goal is to create a network of informed and proactive health custodians who can address health challenges in a sustainable and impactful way. Join us in this journey towards better health for all. Together, we can make a difference. Welcome to the Actuate Health Access Faucet, a transformative initiative dedicated to empowering individuals through the principles of sustainable One Health. This program recognizes the deep interconnectedness of animal, environmental, and human health, affirming that a holistic approach is key to well-being. Our program is designed to equip individuals with essential health knowledge, enabling them to become custodians of their own well-being. Through our hybrid Learn to Earn sessions, conducted both virtually via Google Meet and at physical locations, we engage participants from diverse backgrounds. These weekly sessions serve as dynamic platforms for learning, discussion, and collaboration. We focus on the co-creation of knowledge through the Learn One, Do One, Teach One approach. This method ensures that each participant not only learns valuable health information, but also applies it and teaches it to others, fostering a ripple effect of empowerment and education. By participating in the Actuate Health Access Program, individuals gain the tools and knowledge needed to improve their health and the health of their communities. Our goal is to create a network of informed and proactive health custodians who can address health challenges in a sustainable and impactful way. Join us in this journey towards better health for all. Together, we can make a difference. Welcome to the Actuate Health Access Faucet, a transformative initiative dedicated to empowering individuals through the principles of sustainable One Health. This program recognizes the deep interconnectedness of animal, environmental, and human health, affirming that a holistic approach is key to well-being. Our program is designed to equip individuals with essential health knowledge, enabling them to become custodians of their own well-being. Through our hybrid Learn to Earn sessions, conducted both virtually via Google Meet and at physical locations, we engage participants from diverse backgrounds. These weekly sessions serve as dynamic platforms for learning, discussion, and collaboration. We focus on the co-creation of knowledge through the Learn One, Do One, Teach One approach. This method ensures that each participant not only learns valuable health information, but also applies it and teaches it to others, fostering a ripple effect of empowerment and education. By participating in the Actuate Health Access Program, individuals gain the tools and knowledge needed to improve their health and the health of their communities. Our goal is to create a network of informed and proactive health custodians who can address health challenges in a sustainable and impactful way. Join us in this journey towards better health for all. Together, we can make a difference. Welcome to the Actuate Health Access Faucet, a transformative initiative dedicated to empowering individuals through the principles of sustainable One Health. This program recognizes the deep interconnectedness of animal, environmental, and human health, affirming that a holistic approach is key to well-being. Our program is designed to equip individuals with essential health knowledge, enabling them to
Good evening, everyone. I think we can start the meeting.
Let's get started. Hey, Glory. Good evening.
Hi, Dr. Can you hear me?
Yes, let us get started. Thank you.
Okay, good evening, everyone, and welcome to our today's session. Our topic for today is quadratic funding in pediatric care. Over the past sessions, we have explored how quadratic funding can be used to improve maternal and child care. So today we are covering an application of quadratic funding in pediatric care. So what is pediatric care? This is it's the comprehensive medical attention that is provided to children from infancy to the adolescence. In our previous classes, we've discovered that we start facing financial barriers in health access right from the conception. So unfortunate. Imagine when you are right from your conception, you cannot afford, you cannot have access to the right healthcare services because of financial status even before you're conceived. That is so unlucky. So today we will try to explore now the application of this innovative democratic funding model, unlike the traditional model, and how we can bring solution to this. So before we start our today's discussion, I will take you through the meeting agenda. We will start from topic presentation by our first speaker, that is Damian Chapewa, and then followed by our CEO, Dr. Masharia. We will have an honor to hear further remarks about the topic. After that, we will have an interactive session. You can ask questions. Let's engage, give comments, give your opinions, what you think, and let's have a conversation, right? And then after that, we will have summit announcements from Diana Hamondi. Thereafter, I will conclude the meeting. So during the presentation, I encourage you to let's be keen, let's brainstorm, let's ask questions. Yes, so without wasting time, allow me to welcome our topic master, Damian Chapewa. Welcome.
Thank you, Glory Monathani, for nicely welcoming. So, my name is Damian Chapewa, and today we are going to talk more about the quadratic funding in pediatric care. So, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, David.
Thank you very much. I hope everyone is doing well. So today in our topic, we are going to check the table of content that we're going to have introduction. We're going to check pediatric care service. We're going to check relationship between quadratic funding and the pediatric care. But also we are going to see how we can apply this quadratic funding in pediatric care. And we're going to check benefits of quadratic funding in pediatric care, but also we're going to have a conclusion. Without losing time, let's go to check about the introduction of quadratic funding in pediatric care. Before I'm going to give the introductions, let's check the meaning of quadratic funding. Quadratic funding is a mechanism designed to allocate resources to projects based on community support with a focus on fairness and decentralization. Or in other words, we can say it's like a way to distribute money to projects based on how many people support them, just how money they give. And this method makes sure that projects with a lot of small donations get more attention and funds. Therefore, in healthcare, particularly in global health provisions for marginalized populations living in developing countries, so this funding model really revolutionized how funds are distributed to various initiatives, ensuring that the community preferences significantly influence which projects receive financial support. Before going deep to pediatric care, so let's check the meanings of pediatric. Pediatric is just a branch of medicine that focuses on medical care of infants, children, adolescents, and young adults. So pediatricians is specialized in providing these healthcare services for this age group, addressing a wide range of health needs and developmental stages, which include this newborn between the age of 0 up to 2 months, and infant between 3 months up to 11 months, and the toddler 1 year up to 2 years, and this preschooler 3 to 4 years, and this is school age child between the age of 5 to 12, and these teenagers that include the age of 13 up to 19. It is where these children recognize their talent, puberty stages, and whatever the case. That's that we get this adolescent, which is phase. It is like a transition phase between from childhood up to adulthood. So that is the introductions of quadratic fundings in pediatric care. So let's check first the services. When we talk about these pediatric care services, how do we mean? We supposed to know various pediatric care services that are provided. So as when we are going to target about these donors, so we target to the area of preferences and the choices. In pediatric health care services encompasses a wide range of medical care, specifically targeted for infants, children, and adolescents. Okay, so these services focus on promoting healthy, preventing illnesses, and addressing various health needs during childhood and adolescence. So some keys components of pediatric health care include this well-child visits, talking about annual checkups, this postnatal care services, whereby there is a regular health checkup for monitoring growth, a development of milestone, and the overall being of a child. And where these children getting services including these vaccinations, like polio, OPV, IPV, BCG that are provided at birth for preventing about this tuberculosis, and this OPV, IPV prevents about this polio disease, a pentavalent vaccine, which include 5 types of vaccine, including hepatitis, diphtheria, hepatitis B, and this influenza, and this is B that it prevents about these diseases conditions that may these children may get due to their pure immunity. Issues concerning so the screening, and it provides about the health educations. So those are some of the services about the postnatal care services that are being provided. So this issue of immunization, administering vaccines to protect against those infectious diseases, and some of the vital for preventing serious illnesses in children. Another it is chronic disease management, managing conditions like childhood asthma, preventable these allergies, diabetes in children, this cerebral palsy, Down syndromes, those about all chronic diseases management. So this it is area for dealing with those in order to prevent those complications during childhood. There are these about cardiac diseases affect most of the newborn, congenital heart diseases. So this is a place that we can set up this project to support about these chronic issues. And another service it is all about individual and family counseling to address about the emotional and the behavioral issues, supporting family through challenges, because some of the family who from poor family cannot access these health services. So they must have that's continuous family counseling. And other issue about physical therapy, like rehabilitating injuries, that improving mobility and enhancing physical function, especially for those children who have congenital illness, like delayed development of milestone. For example, these children who born with cerebral palsy, who are delayed with the development is stone to crawl, walking, or giving problems of talking, even walking. So they need this physical therapy at the homes, at the hospital centers, to provide about these issues of their support in order to improve their health conditions. But another issue, it is all about to provide about this nutrition educations. Children, because they're growing, so they need food rich in proteins in order to improve their growth, promoting about the health eating habits and addressing nutrition needs. So this is a vital for growth and development in children. So those are services that we're dealing in pediatric care, and they are very important. So in summary, I can say pediatric care services include well child visits, immunizations, chronic disease management, individual and family counseling, physical therapy, and nutrition educations. So those are those are some of the services. So let's see the relationship between quadratic funding and pediatric care. Why do we involve quadratic funding and pediatric care? Let us relate about these pediatric care services in relation with the quadratic funding. How do we apply? How do we relate? So quadratic funding and pediatric care share a connections through the principles of equitable resources allocations and community-driven decision making. So the first one, it is equitable funding. So quadratic funding aims to distribute resources fairly by matching small contributions from a diverse set of donors. So similarly, in pediatric care, equitable funding ensures that all children, regardless of the socioeconomic status, receive a necessary medical attention. And another issue is all about community participation. Quadratic involves the community in decision making. So communities explains their preferences by allocating about this project that they support. So in pediatric care, community involvement can lead to better healthy outcomes. So parents, caregivers, and the local stakeholders play a pivotal role in shaping these policies and services in pediatric care services. Another, it is all about prioritizations and impact. Quadratic fundings allocate more funds to projects with the widespread support, emphasizing impact. And pediatric care can benefit from this approach, prioritizing interventions that have the most significant impact on the child health, such as vaccinations, nutrition programs, and prevent measures. And another issue, it is all about transparent and accountability. Quadratic fundings requires transparency in funding allocations, so donors can see where their contributions go in these pediatric care services. Similarly, transparent in pediatric care fundings ensures accountability that builds trust and encourages efficiency resource utilizations. And another, it is all about decentralization. Quadratic fundings operate in a decentralized manner that avoid central authorities. So decentralized pediatric care models empower local clinics, these community health workers, and the grassroots organizations to address specific needs effectively for these children. So after checking those relationship between quadratic fundings and pediatric care service, so let's go see how can we apply these quadratic fundings in pediatric care. The first one, you must create a matching pool. So setting a pool of matching funds contributed by large donors or sponsors. So these funds will be used to match individual donations, encourage community members, parents, or caregivers to contribute to the pool. And number two is all about community support for donations. No, in this point, I can say like to promote pediatric care projects within the community that raise awareness about the importance of child health, encourage small contributors to donate. So every contributions matter regardless of its size. And the number three, I can say like quadratic formula actions, applications of these quadratic formula actions that uses about a mathematical formula where our matching funds increase quadratically with the number of unique contributors. So the more people participate, the greater the impact. So the formula ensures the widespread support is varied. The number four, I can say distribution of matching funds. Allocate matching funds to pediatric care initiatives based on the community preferences. Prioritize projects that address clinical needs and prevent measures and equitable access to health services. So that is how we distribute about matching funds. So let's see benefits of quadratic fundings for pediatric care. When we push this quadratic funding in the pediatric care, we get this benefit. First one is to improve well-being of children, because we are going to improve about these pediatric care services that have been mentioned above, like those of well-being child visit that you are just attending during postnatal clinic, that is just that monitoring this health checkup to monitor about growth, development of milestones, and overall of well-being. Include all issues of screening of child if there is any problem, health problems, issues of immunization, administering these vaccines to protect about against these infection diseases such as polio, tuberculosis, diphtheria, pertussis, or these issues of tetanus, by providing those immunization, beta-variant, polio, or BCG, whatever the case. So by doing this, it brings like a vital for preventing this serious illness in children, And another thing that have been said, it helps in monitoring of these chronic diseases like cerebral palsy, allergies, asthma, this Down syndrome, congenital cardiac diseases, whatever the case, so the ensuring optimal health and quality of life. So that is the first issue. So another issue, another benefit, it reduces about mobility and mortality rate in children by improving about this well-being, but also going to reduce the death and the disease rate, because we are influencing about improving the conditions of these children. So even the number of deaths to these children is going to be reduced because of improving the health centers that provides this access to children's about the pediatric healthcare services. And another issue, encourage diverse contributors. We just invite many donors and sponsors to engage in this pediatric project to improve about the health conditions, the health services to the children. Another it provides about incentivize high quality of work, because we invite large community to share their funds to make a matching pool in order to bring about a high quality of work. We invite sponsors and donors to participate in a different meeting in order to come up with solutions about these problems that face children, about to encourage about professionals in health, pediatricians, or any professors who dealing with these children conditions, poor family, and whatever the case is. So by doing this, we improve, you motivate the high quality of work, support transparent and community involvement. And that is another benefits of quadratic fundings for pediatric care. Conclusive, I can say, in summary, both the quadratic fundings and pediatric care emphasize fairness, community involvement, and impact. So by applying these quadratic funding principles to pediatric health fundings can lead to more accessible, responsive, and effective care in children. So thank you very much. Back to you, Grace. Glory, yeah.
Thank you, Damian, for that educative presentation. It's a wonderful one. Thank you for shedding light on the importance of pediatric care for development of every child. Unfortunately, despite the critical importance of pediatric care, these services are often underfunded, especially in our region. And that's why we are here. That's why we are here to ignite these conversations and come up with a sustainable solution to this pressing issue. Thank you once again, Damian. So now I will welcome our CEO, Dr. Macharia, to give further remarks about the topic. Dr. Welcome.
All right. Thank you, Glory. I'm audible. Tell me, Glory. Yeah?
Yes, Doctor, we can hear you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Glory. And thank you so much, Damian, for bringing us back to the origins. Like, let's bring it back to the ground, because pediatrics is about children. Pediatric is a very big, broad spectrum idea, because it covers from the age of 0 to 19 years. That's a lot of years. So pediatrics, because it covers a whole 19 years of life, that's a lot of work for the healthcare system. Because say a baby of 1 year old, or let's say a baby of 1 day old, which is an infant. Infant has nothing to do with a 19-year-old. Both of them are totally different human beings. And so they're so different from their physical features to different in their biochemistry, in their physiology, they are different in everything. So when you lump all of them together into one bucket, we call pediatrics, I think it's a very difficult thing because babies at the age of 0 to 1 have got very different needs, even from babies of 1 year to 1 year to 2 years who are toddlers. And even then, when they become bigger, like 5-year-olds have got such different needs from the babies who are only 2 years old. So you can see pediatrics is like a rainbow kaleidoscope of changing scenes that are changing almost every day. Now imagine the job of a pediatrician has to master all those different things that are happening to a human being. As a human being, it's changing on a constant basis. The change is inexorable. So that inexorability of the changing happening on a continuous basis becomes even very difficult to allocate resources. Because human beings, our mind, the mind of man, the mind of human being is limited. The mind of human beings does not see the entire spectrum of things at once. It only sees things in small dots, small dots. So it's limited, and that's why it becomes very difficult to find out how to allocate resources to pediatrics. And I can tell you, majority of pediatrics do not have access to any resources, so they're just left to their own devices. Maybe the mother can do breastfeeding as much as possible, and maybe we start weaning. But then, particularly when it's young mother, a new mother, serious difficulties in raising a new child. So now we have quadratic funding that promises to make the problem go away, because what you have seen about pediatrics, that full spectrum of changes that are happening on a continuous basis, that's what's called diversity, the intensive diversity of changes. And see, the capital allocation model that we have today does not recognize diversity because it's made from human thinking based on old economics, as we have said. Old economics is zero-sum game, okay? So old economics does not comprehend diversity, or does not comprehend randomness or disequilibrium. Now, the process between the age 0 to age 19, so many things can happen, or so many things actually happen, and those things happen randomly. See, the randomness of occurrence of issues into a human life, a human being, between age 0 and 19 is so intensive and evident. So it is not a situation where you can create equilibrium. So the mathematics of equilibrium, as we have talked about before, the mathematics of arithmetic, and that used to guide Adam Smith to create the economics, the demand side economics, that arithmetics and algebra just doesn't fit. It doesn't align with what? With randomness, the science of randomness. And we have said that because of that, all economics, the way money is applied into pediatrics come from an assumptions that you don't know where the money comes from. Where the money that we want to allocate to healthcare projects for pediatric services, where does it come from? That question is left blank. We don't know. So maybe it's government. And that's why the pediatric services are built on what's called the provider model. Healthcare provision, providing means that there is one individual or entity that provides care to the people. You see, that is quite misguided. It is not possible to have one providing to many, because that one was providing to many, which is built on the demand side economics of Adam Smith. which is the basis for our healthcare systems today. It's demand side. So we start calculating how much is healthcare demand, all this stuff. And that science does not take into consideration the principle of randomness. So it doesn't actually recognize it. It does not recognize it. That's to demand side economics, randomness is invisible. And you can see what's happening between age 0 and 19, that growth period, events that occur, they occur at random. Yes, you don't know what's going to happen. You cannot predict. It's unpredictable. First of all, you cannot predict the health of the baby who is going to get born. You cannot predict the one who is going to develop stomachache, or the one who starts going to have vomiting or diarrhea, or the one who is going to get infected by malaria. You cannot predict all those things. Okay, so, but any of those things that are unpredictable happen, and what they happen, they have a huge impact on the growth of the baby, from the newborn all the way to the growth of the child. And so because that relies on randomness, and yet the capital allocation, let's say allocation of finance, does not recognize randomness, that's why we have a huge problem in healthcare, pediatric care. Okay? We have a huge problem in pediatric care because the science of capital allocation is based on, you know, what you call hardcore mathematics, which we call exact science. Exact science, which is arithmetic and maybe calculus and stuff like that. But it does not recognize the randomness of human development. Okay, that's what I want to say. Because, and then of course, you assume that the capital that we are going to be allocating are coming from one particular source. In this case, it's usually the governments. Where does the government get the money from? From taking money by force from people. It's called taxation. What if, so of course, the government has to tax people because it cannot allocate money. It doesn't have, because government doesn't have a job, doesn't go to work every day, gets paid a salary. The government collects money from people who are working. And so the problem we have now in developing countries is that the number of people paying taxes are very, very few compared to the need for budget to be allocated. Capital, we see it's called the tax base of a country like Kenya or even Tanzania is very, very tiny. Why? Because most people are in the informal economy, informal sector, and it's very difficult for the government to collect money from people who it doesn't see because they're in the informal sector. We call that juakali. Imagine all the subsistence farmers in the village. How do they pay taxes? Yeah, because they have a small shamba, they grow potatoes, they grow cabbages, they have a goat, a cow. They can sustain themselves by milking one cow, and they can sustain themselves by having small production on maybe 1 acre or 2 acres of land. But that does not contribute to the tax pool. So you can see in some certain countries, developing countries, the tax base is about 11% of the working population. That means that 89% of the people are not paying taxes. So they don't contribute to the National Common Fund, which can now be used to pay for healthcare services and education. And you can see the problem now Mr. Ruto of Kenya is facing by trying to tax everything from everybody, including taxing bread. And you see it's quite misguided because those people who don't pay taxes because they are not in the economy, they don't eat bread for breakfast, by the way. So taxing bread is kind of misguided also. But then, of course, that the financial bill in Kenya had many other problems with it. They were not just taxing bread, even trying to tax diapers and things like that. So, but what I'm saying here is that the money that we want to allocate in the traditional finance model, traditional healthcare financing model, is the money was coming from collecting taxes. that the people themselves, the people who are supposed to be consuming these health services, say the mothers of those children and the fathers and the families, do not get involved in funding. Yeah? Why is it that we're saying that there's not enough funding for healthcare services and those people are not directly involved except if money was going to be collected from them through taxation? So you can see there's a disconnect between where the money is coming from and what the money is expected to be used for. That's a whole problem, because this old economic model does not recognize the randomness. Now, those people who are supposed to receive the pediatric care are not involved even in understanding where the money for funding that pediatric care comes from. But that is old, that's on its way out, and something new is being born. Now we can say we're in a state of labor. This new being born is quadratic funding that recognizes, first of all, the randomness of occurrence of need for financing in pediatric care. It recognizes the randomness, which is called entropy. And because it's recognized randomness, we are now able to go directly to the people who will consume that care and open a door for them to enter into a space where they can participate in funding their own needs, contributing. They can now participate in contributing funding for things that matter to them. For example, if they want to have a better childcare, they can participate directly in funding instead of waiting for the government to come with its taxes and distribute money. So the people themselves are able, today, they are enabled using quadratic funding. And what has made that possible? It's not really the quadratic funding itself, it's the blockchain technology. Blockchain technology. As we have discussed in the past a few sessions, is that blockchain technology recognizes randomness. And so it came with this essence of information, which is recognizes the randomness of acquisition, because information comes in randomly. And so based on that sense of randomness, acquisition, we can now talk about acquisition of capital for funding, for allocating to pediatric projects. So this acquisition, is now possible to acquire capital from individual members of the community without having to think about even one moment whether the government will collect taxes or not. That means it's a complete overthrow of that old system. You see, it's an overthrow of the old system. Like, take it, put it in a basket, trash, and then throw it in the fire to burn up there, because it's unhelpful. So quadratic funding. So one thing I would like us to emphasize is that quadratic funding has helped us to understand something called capital acquisition. Because before capital is allocated, it has to be acquired. In the traditional funding model, capital acquisition was absent. It's like it doesn't exist. What is capital acquisition? Oh, we don't know what that is. Let's wait for the government to come and give us money. Where does it acquire the money from? So capital acquisition has been a blank space. Instead of saying blank, has been a space covered with darkness. Like you're told, darkness covers the surface, the deep. So this deep area known as capital acquisition has been totally dark. Nothing until now. So quadratic funding gives a mechanism for capital acquisition from individual human beings who are participants, who are participating, going to participate in health as health consumers, to consume that healthcare we want to allocate the capital to. So, and you can see what it is doing, quadratic funding, is to align the capital acquisition with the capital allocation. So for the first time in the history of mankind, I'm not even exaggerating here, first time in the history of mankind, capital acquisition becomes completely aligned with capital allocation. See, that is what has been a big problem. The capital acquisition was absent, was zero, then capital allocation is 100%. Doesn't match. So when capital acquisition is zero and capital allocation 100%, what happens? People needing capital allocation suffer. And those people needing capital allocation could have participated in contributing the capital acquisition. You see, so that's the thing. And I just so you understand that when everybody is participating in the capital acquisition, how a project is acquiring capital that now can be allocated. Now, what is most beautiful about quadratic funding is that when the capital acquisition is appeared, it's possible to come from many people participating, many participants or contributing. Those many people contributing are going to contribute capital to fund things that matter to them. And so, how will they do that? To fund things that matter to them. That funding things that matter to them is what called capital allocation. So to allocate money to things that matter to them. So how do they allocate things that matter to them? They will allocate capital to things that matter to them through voting. So they can vote. First of all, they suggest, oh, we are contributing all this money to do this, and then we are going to vote how that money is going to be allocated. So that process is known as governance. So capital acquisition and capital allocation governance is only possible through the blockchain today, which it wasn't possible before. Remember, governance, capital acquisition was not absent. So maybe we had members of parliament, the senators, and eventually the president creating the finance bill. And then they vote. That finance bill now provides a blueprint for capital allocation. And only those few people sitting up there in the parliament building, only those few people can make a decision about how capital is going to be allocated. Okay, after the finance bill to collect the taxes. So quadratic funding is an overthrow of all that getting complete community participation. So the only thing that members of community need to have in order to participate in that is a cell phone. See, a cell phone, which a cell phone is ubiquitous. We have more than one cell phone in every family. So that is the new independence, that is brought about by this new economics of randomness that recognizes randomness and participation of everyone in the community. Okay, so then how can we now craft a quadratic funding process for pediatric service? You see, in order for you to know how to go about that, you first of all would need to know how much money would it cost to create a pediatric health service. So the first thing to understand is, what service are we talking about? Usually services are anchored on the ground by an architectural project, which means a building. Okay, so they're going to be a health center somewhere in the community. So every community must have a health center, because that health center is the home, eventually a home. That a health center is a building that converts a space into a place where people can come and collaborate and enjoy the care that's going to be provided by themselves. So it's a building. So before you start talking about the quadratic funding mechanism, you have to know that the building is going to be built on a piece of land. So that piece of land, what is the cost of that piece of land? So you calculate the cost of the land. Then how much is it going to cost to put up the building? And what kind of work will be going on in that building? So you say it's going to be a building where you can have a well baby clinic, where babies who are not sick at all, they just come for monthly checkups and for vaccines. has to be a place where the baby can receive vaccines, and it has to be a place where there's probably a clinical person, like a clinical officer, a nurse who can sit there and talk to the parents, and a place where there's people who are community health workers can sit, and the place maybe has a small laboratory for testing bloods and testing what testing body secretions, just a small lab like a microbiology lab and a chemistry lab, and perhaps a small theater for doing this surgery, for dealing with uh, small surgical issues like wound care, and maybe there's a fracture. They can know how to repair those fractures and stuff like that. So we're talking about a tiny health center or dispensary. That's the community. Such a community center. If you have that idea, then you say, what's the cost of you putting us such a community center? And then all the services that you're going to provide there. What equipment do you need for that? And of course, it doesn't have hospital bed because it's not an inpatient care, it's an outpatient clinic. Okay, for just primary health care, for primary care with a pediatrician. So you could find that kind of place would cost something like 500,000 Kenyan shillings to 1,000,000 shillings. Okay, between and maybe even less than that. Now, instead of waiting for the government to come and put up a building like that, 500,000 Kenya shillings, that is quite easy to raise if you find 500 people each contributing 1,000 shillings. Okay, and then if 1,000 shillings is too much, but I can tell you, 1,000 is not too much. A lot of people can afford that. But then if it says too much, then you can have so you can have people contributing 100 shillings, and you have 500 people. So how much money are you going to raise? That's going to be 50,000. So that's very low. It's only 10%. Okay. Then you can have a big donor. Some of these people who have got a lot of money, they would like to give money to that project, but they're not going to give the money if it's not going to be effective. It's just one person, one donor giving all the money and participating there is the contribute the money. But if you have 500 people, each contributing 100 shillings, those people are accounted for. They become voters. They can vote, make decisions about how that place is going to run. So quadratic funding, it encourages a lot of people to contribute a little money, like 100 shillings each. And then you find a donor who can provide the rest of the money. And the reason quadratic funding is effective is that it empowers the local people to participate in the decision making. It empowers them to participate in the decision making. So the capital acquisition, if you don't have to wait for the government to collect taxes, because the government, first of all, doesn't even know how to collect taxes from such people, because it's very difficult to collect taxes from somebody who has got a few goats, or a few, or maybe a few chicken, one cow. So those people who have got one cow or maybe a small number of chicken, like 10 chicken or so, such people can afford 100 shillings. See, they can even sell a chicken to come back with some more than 100 shillings, maybe even 800 shillings. So those people become ushered in to the decision-making table for their health center. And then when you have a group of such people, then you can attract funding from large donors. The large donor is going to contribute the rest of the money, such that if it was 500,000 and you've contributed, you've raised only 50,000 from 500 people, then the rest 450,000, which is only about $4,000. Can you believe that? That money can get contributed by one person, because a lot of people have got $4,000 and they can contribute that, so long as there's many people participating, and then the project becomes doable. Now, the doability of such a project relies upon the modern technology and communication. It wasn't possible to do that before when we had no, we didn't have, say, the blockchain itself. Now, even much more beautiful thing is that the person who is contributing the matching fund, like say 450,000 shillings, doesn't have to worry about ever receiving that money back because that person receives Actuate tokens. So are the people contributing 100 shillings. So everybody receives tokens for their contribution, Actuate tokens. And all those tokens are now going to go into the decentralized finance markets, places like Uniswap, PancakeSwap, and they start gaining value all by themselves. So quadratic funding now disassociates the profit making, whether the project's making profit or not. It makes money available for the project, but the people who are contributing the money can make profit through the tokens because tokens are going to start gaining value in the marketplace because the tokens are supporting a good project. So the problem, what people were calling exits, what we're calling the exit, investors usually ask when I come in, what's my exit strategy? Exit strategy, because exit strategy, it means how will I get my money back? How will I get my money back? If I give you $4,500 to do this project, how will I get my money back? And you know that creating a project for pediatric care is not profitable. It's very difficult to make profits that way. And so the person can say, this thing is just going to consume my money and I'll never make money. But you see, when these tokens go into the marketplace, they are indifferent. I mean to say that the tokens themselves do not care whether the clinic or the health center is making money or not, because they're indifferent. What is going to make money is the activity of the tokens in the marketplace, okay, in the centralized market. So with the tokens, it's in Uniswap. So the token will make money in Uniswap, not because the clinic is profitable or not. So you can see what this does is to disassociate the profitability of the project from the request for profit by the investors, the supporters. And so because of that, it becomes now possible to get money to fund projects that do not seem to make profit at all, will never make profit. But when people are contributing their money, they are guaranteed profit through what? Through the decentralized finance market. But that profit that comes from the decentralized finance market is totally indifferent to whether the clinic is making money or not. So the clinic is not for profit. The token itself is for profit. Hey, did I hear hallelujah? How did that happen? The clinic is not for profit. The token is for profit. So this is now when for profit and not for profit becomes married together in the new economy, the economy of randomness. Okay, and this now will encourage a lot of people who are profit seeking, but they cannot invest in a clinic because the clinic is not for profit. But now with the quadratic funding, people who are profit seeking will now manage to invest in what? In not-for-profit projects like a pediatric clinic. You see that? Do you see that transformation? It's mind-blowing. If this has not blown your mind, you need to just check your head. Is my mind still here? Is my mind still here? That is the power. It's so powerful that if you don't understand it, now, what can we say about that? It's because it's very powerful. But what I want to encourage all of you because you're all very young and this is the economy of the epoch. You want to understand it in such detail. So I won't say the final statement for you, so I repeat it again. It helps for people seeking profit to fund non-profit projects. So if you're seeking profit, how can you participate in funding non-profit? Only through quadratic funding. Yeah, it sounds like a contradiction, and that's what it is, because it's based on new economics, the economics of randomness. It's called entropy, economic of disorder. There is no order here. We're talking about the order of Adam Smith, because Adam's Nevian order, it is economics of disorder. That's because such a disorder where you can get profit by funding not-for-profit projects. That's what quadratic funding is about. And so, ladies and gentlemen, that is all I would like to say about this today. Back to you, Glory.
Thank you, Daktari, for those powerful remarks. It is always a privilege to hear from you, to listen your wise words. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've been following. And I would like to encourage all of you to participate in this approach, because we are the solution to all the problems that face us. Because if we continue to wait for the government, for other people, change will never happen. People will continue losing lives due to preventable diseases, and also like chronic conditions which could be preventable. And yet we have the power to transform the healthcare. We have the power in our minds, in our hands. So it's a collective action. So I would encourage all of you to participate. Also, we have, because now we are aiming to implement this quadratic funding through blockchain. I would also like to encourage you to keep attending the blockchain classes on Saturday to understand more about our Actuate token and the blockchain. So I will allow questions or comments or insight about the today's topic. It's a deep topic. You can't miss questions or comments. Just say something, and you can raise your hand or you can just direct your concerns through the chat box. And as we wait for the questions, as we prepare for the questions, I will welcome Diana Amondi to give the pre-Boston Nairobi Summit announcement. Diana, can you hear me, please? Hello, Diana.
Hello.
Hello. Hey,
Okay. Hi. Okay. Good evening, everyone. So I'm going to take you through pre-Boston Nairobi Summit announcement, which by now you all know that is going to take place from 3rd to 6th of December at Kenyatta University. And the theme is going to be using blockchain, DeFi, and AI to improve wealth and human development. And we have got varieties of categories where you can come as a sponsor, as an attendee, as an exhibitor, or as a speaker. And also you can come to do a poster presentation where there is where you are going to compete in a poster presentation. So the purpose of the summit will be to gather stakeholders of blockchain, DeFi, AI, health and human development in Africa to discuss how blockchain, DeFi, and AI produce health and human development. So the reason why you should attend, you'll be able to network. You'll also be able to learn about the Boston Premier Summit. You'll also learn about Actuate initiatives. And for you to come as an attendee, you'll go to our website, register as an attendee, where you'll be able to pay a fee of $150. Yeah, so you can go to our website, read the instructions. You can also come as an exhibitor, where you can go to our website and register as an exhibitor. So to come as an exhibitor, you need to pay an exhibitor booth fee where you'll pay $1,000. And the reason why you should exhibit is that you'll gain industry exposure. You'll also get a chance to network with key decision makers, and there will also be a benefit. So so secure your spot today so that you can come as an exhibitor, because the clock is clicking. Then you can also come as a speaker, where if you go to our website, we have got varieties of speakers. Like for example, we have Dr. Brenda Ombane, who is a medical doctor and a psychiatric resident. We also have Omondi Aga, who is a co-founder of the Nuclear Society of Kenya, who will be attending the summit, and I will come as a speaker. So you still got a chance to come to the summit as a speaker. So go register as a speaker. And if you know anyone who is fit to become a speaker, you can advise him or her to come and register and submit his or her abstract to our website. For now, you can bring those sponsors, because we are looking for the sponsor who can sponsor the summit. So we have got a list of sponsors, let me say varieties of sponsors. One of them is a title sponsor who pays $100,000. Then we have a diamond sponsor who pays $10,000. We have got a platinum sponsor who pays $7,500. Then we have a gold sponsor who pays $5,000. Silver sponsor who pays $3,000. Then we have got a bronze sponsor who pays $1,000. So if you get a chance to bring in a sponsor, the sponsor will receive some benefit, a lot of benefit, depending on which type of a sponsor they are. So right now we are looking for the sponsor and also exhibitor for the summit to be a successful one. And also for the poster competition, you can come to the summit to present your poster. And remember, the winner will get a chance to attend the Pre-Boston Nairobi Summit that will happen next year, July. Yeah, so let us work together to bring in sponsors and exhibitor to the summit. And that's all I can say for now. Yeah, and back to you, Glory.
Thank you, Diana, for that announcement. So everyone, I hope you've heard how you can participate in our summit. It's a great opportunity to, even to network and to advance your career goals. So you can click on our website, go through, keep interacting with our website, and see how you can participate. Let's leave no one behind. So maybe Dr. do you have any other thing to add about the summit?
Well, I'll add two things. One about the actual token itself. The other thing about the summit. Wow, thank you for listening, you guys. That the actual token is going to become, if you don't have actual tokens now that you buy, you're accumulating, this is your time. Before this quadratic funding processes get into action, because the token will become very, very expensive. That's the idea. So now we are just laying the groundwork as we, and of course, the summit itself is also going to make the token popular. So you have the early birds advantage. You can buy those tokens. Go to PancakeSwap, accumulate as many tokens as possible right now. Okay, don't come later to say I was there. Because the tokens you receive for trading is one that's for your recognition for trading, but you can get yourself a whole bunch of tokens accumulating. Yes, and that's because the tokens later, or just let's say you will make profit when those tokens go up in value. And also practice how to create liquidity pools. So do not let your opportunity for learning about tokens go to waste. Do not let it go to waste. So second thing about the summit, we have had tremendous response, success in terms of speakers. So the summit right now has got more than 100 people who want to come and speak. These are high profile people in medicine, surgery, in technology, that's computer science, engineering, environmental science, environmental health, all those groups of people, civil engineers, people in water, they will be there. It's going to be a very, very huge festival of knowledge. Okay, we're coming to have a festival of knowledge. Have you heard of that? Isn't when you have a party? What are we eating? It's not nyama choma. I think this nyama choma is knowledge itself, the real nyama. Yeah. So, and of course, in this new economy of randomness, knowledge is the only thing that will matter, because knowledge is inexhaustible. It's unlimited resource. We're not talking about the limited resource like minerals on the ground. We have minerals or your treasures in heaven. Treasures in heaven, that is your knowledge, how you use it. And so come and meet people. Yeah, people who are going to have very serious impact on your career. And so what is your opportunity? What your opportunity is to create a poster, and the poster presentation itself will be a key for you to open a door to lots of opportunities in the world beyond personal development, personal professional development. So that poster can bring you to Boston. By the way, tomorrow morning, I'm having a meeting with the leaders of the city of Boston. I'm going to meet the mayor of Boston. So to tell him about what we are doing. So we start collaborating with the city of Boston today, preparing for you to come to Boston next year, next July. So that then I'm going to talk to the city of Boston, so the leaders, not talking the city itself. I'm going to the office of the mayor, tell them about what we are doing in Nairobi, and we start the collaboration right now. Because if you collaborate right now, then they'll be prepared for next year for Boston to receive you, okay? So that you can come here in Boston and have a lot of fun, enjoying knowledge. Yeah. So that's my meeting tomorrow. And so what else is that besides having speakers, you're going to meet a lot of people from industry itself. The information industry, we are working very hard to get large companies like Microsoft, like Google, Cisco, and communications companies, of course, Safaricom. But besides that, devices companies that make those devices, the smartphones and the like, to come there. Besides now, the healthcare companies. By the way, the greatest news, you have had MyDAO. I think you all know MyDAO. MyDAO has agreed to do a workshop at that summit, workshop on health access, 4-day workshop, MyDAO. And so it's very, very exciting. And I think I can feel the energy. Even people here in the United States, they keep telling me, we have never seen that kind of energy that you guys have over there. I say, wait, wait, there's more, because Kenyans are highly energetic people. And that I just want to report to you, the energy that is showing in Actuate Nation is being felt by people in Boston. Okay, so pat yourselves in the back, because we cannot believe you've got 100 people coming as speakers. These are high profile people. Where are they going to speak? See, they're going to be speaking to the people. So also prepare yourself to come to Nairobi, to come to that summit. So I'm just telling you that you're going to have a huge audience, global level audience, to people who are in very high science itself, as they cook high science in Massachusetts. All right, so I would not like to add more. I don't want to, but you get the story. So it's very exciting. So be one. Don't be the one who draws back to perdition. See, you see, I am not of them that draw back to perdition, but I'm of them who stand up to be counted. Are you gonna be counted? I'm sure the answer to that question is yes for all of you. All right, thank you, Glory. Mhm. Back to you, Glory.
Thank you, Dr. Ray, for those insightful remarks. Thank you for giving more light about how to participate in the summit. And thank you for your time. Thank you to our topic master, Damian, and thank you all for joining our meeting. So keep joining our sessions every Thursday, and be curious to learn, and also come to brainstorm to come up with new ideas. Like every time, like after every session we have, you see, we identify existing gaps. So after the class, you can just go brainstorm and figure out which role can you play to bring a solution. I think that way we will create a comfortable world. We will transform the healthcare, and also make sure you spread what you learn. Bring more of your colleagues, your friends, and yeah, spread the conversation about quadratic funding, and invite them also to learn, so that now when we are implementing this project, people are aware, and yeah, that's how we will receive greater community support. So unless maybe anyone has a concern or a question, we are coming to the end of the meeting.
Okay, you say the final word by Steve Jobs. Stay hungry, stay curious. Stay hungry, stay curious. Why did Steve Jobs say that? He said, because blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be filled. Who said that? They shall be satisfied. Those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, the right thing to do, which is learning quadratic funding. Blessed is you if you hunger and thirst for the righteousness. So the righteousness is the right thing to do. And you hunger to participate in the summit, you hunger and thirst for knowledge, you hunger and thirst to stay yourself informed, so you become a knowledgeable person. And you will be filled. That's a promise made by the great teacher. You know, in Matthew 5, when he was talking to his people on the mountain. Someone on the mount, blessed is you when you hunger and thirst for righteousness, for you are going to be filled. Be satisfied. All right, I think we have had said enough. Thank you so much, Glory, and thank you so much, everybody. Damien Chapawa, as always, I want to come to Tanzania and enjoy those beautiful beaches along the Indian Ocean. So long as let's talk about the blue economy. Beautiful. Have a great one. Bye.
Yeah, so the attendance form has been shared on the chat box. I will give you a few minutes to fill. Yeah. Once